It really, what a great football game. It's easy to say when you come out on the winning end. I give Coach Gill and Liberty an awful lot of credit. We got off to a great start. I really thought we would. I was extremely confident that we would. I felt that, having been here as long as I was here, that I was going to be able to present to my players the environment. And what's happened so often is teams come in here and are not ready for the environment. And I made sure my players were ready for that environment here today. The student body here was great, and the energy was great. So I think that gave us an opportunity to get off to a really good start. Offensively, we had a lot of rhythm in the first half, a lot of balance. Things changed a little in the second half. I really felt kind of holistically that Liberty changed up their offense coming into this game. Caught us off guard, no doubt about it. I knew Josh could run the ball. I was telling my coaches all week long, I said, we can't let Woodrum run the ball. We can't let Woodrum run the ball. And I kept saying, well, Coach, he hasn't been running it. He hasn't been running it. And I just knew they were going to run him tonight. And boy, did he run well. And then it comes down to a couple plays at the end. I think my kids bailed me out there a little bit. I probably should have kicked the ball deep middle. We did ask our kicker to kick the ball deep, but line drive squibbit, and he kind of shanked it off to the side. It gave him a little bit of a shorter field, and then for them to bang a 60-plus yard field goal was something that's you don't really see every day. Both teams competed really hard. It was a really big win for me personally, and it's time for us to move on, and hopefully we'll have some momentum as we get back into conference play. At this time, I'll take any questions here from the media.
Last year was Green had a huge game on the ground. Seth Fisher today, kind of a little bit out of nowhere to have a gigantic game for you.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? Seth is the guy that a little bit of the X factor for us. When he's good, he's really, really good. He's so physical. And he had a couple big games late last year. We had we had William and Mary at home last year, and he literally controlled the football game. So that combination of a big physical running back, Fisher, Jacoby, more of a scat back, and then with Strauss in our receiving core, we got some really good balance. Last year, Seth was fullback. He was hurt. He's been banged up a little bit this year, but when he's healthy and ready to roll, I think he's really special.
With your guys' field goal attempt there at the end of regulation, can you take me through coach's perspective of whether you kick a field goal with 11 seconds left or you slowed it down and a timeout to play with, maybe snap it?
In a do-over, I do it differently. There's no doubt that there'd be a rationale to either spike the ball. I didn't want to run another play. I kind of looked at where the ball was. The ball was sitting right on the extra point line, and I did not want to run another play and then use the timeout. So I probably got a little bit quick to go there and take that timeout immediately like I did. Could have spiked the ball. Could have been some value in that. But I made up my mind I didn't want to run a play, so the next thing to do there would have been just to take the timeout. I still think that if we would have gotten the kick that we wanted on the ensuing kickoff, they're inside the 20, or they're running it back and the clock's running. So they end up with 4, 5, 3 seconds when they had that chance for that last play with Josh.
Your third down conversion rate, 13 and 19. Now, what's made Strauss so good on those plays?
Accuracy, anticipation. He really sees things, and he's got confidence. Strauss ran a little bit tonight, and not necessarily for yards, but he's a much better athlete than most people recognize, because he's not one of those guys that pulls the ball down and gets first downs. But you saw him elude the rush. He avoided some sacks tonight. That D-line here at Liberty has been in the backfield a lot the last couple of weeks and pressuring the quarterback. And for the most part, we held up pretty well, I thought. But on third down, we thought third down could be a really big advantage for us here tonight. I got the final stats in front of me. I'm not looking at it right now, but I did feel like when it was all said and done, that was a big down for us, a big win.
I was joking with somebody on the sideline. Richmond's like the Salem Spartans super varsity. How grateful are you from that program? I mean, so many playmakers.
Yeah, we got a couple really, really good ones. And, you know, when I was here, we were really active in Roanoke, Southwest Virginia, Salem. And when we went down to Richmond, we kind of wanted to continue those ties. Blaine McCorkle's the active recruiter down there for us. And there's some good football players down there, some good football players in this area right here. But Stephen and Reggie are really good players for us, the Barnett twins, and then you know, Seth Fisher. We got a young offensive lineman in there. Alex Light did not play tonight, but he's also a Salem product. Got a great program.
Fisher too.
Yep.
That, the timeout right before the interception and the blitz, I mean, was that something you just saw, throw a zero blitz at and see what,
Yeah,
what it was?
we had a defensive call that is really better suited for a different personnel grouping for us on defense. So we have a regular defense and we run this call, and then we have a nickel defense and we run this call. We can run it out of either, but when we run it out of our nickel, we have a little better coverage. And I just didn't want this game to come down to someone having to make a play who really, more times than not, might not be out there in that situation. So I wanted to get our money nickel substitution in the game to get a little more coverage and a little more pass rush.
Coach, what can a win like this do for you guys? I mean, a hard-fought, gritty win on the road as you kind of get propelled into the bulk of your conference schedule.
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, I'm hoping a lot. You know, my guys are excited. You know, they were happy for me. I mean, you know, harassed is a strong word, but I was on them all week long. I was banging the drum. I was playing the LU theme song at practice. I mean, my kids were just getting sick of it, you know, and just kept playing it and playing it and playing it. And so I think that, you know, they really wanted to respond, and I think they wanted to, you know, to please their head coach tonight, and, you know, they darn sure did. We're back in conference play. I don't ask a lot of questions at these things, but what did JMU and Albany do?
JMU won on a last late field goal.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going up to Albany next week. I think Albany's like 4-1. So we're back in conference play. Obviously, the stakes continue to go up.
Let me ask you this, and I know maybe you may have touched on this a little bit already, so I apologize if you did, but kind of the totality of this whole thing, this type of win in your return here, you know, kind of really, did that make it a little more special?
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, it's one of the more special moments here, you know, for me in my coaching career. I was out walking this morning, like I always do, and I saw a lot of friendly faces and a lot of people kind of popped out of Starbucks or pulled off the road and came up to say hi to me, and you just can't even imagine how that made me feel. I had some real quality time with Jeff Barber and you know, Bill Gillespie, Ed Gomes, Wimberly, Marshall Roberts, just to name a few. So it was really, really special. And I think the neat thing for me is that I can kind of let my guard down a little bit. Now, we're not playing these guys anytime in the foreseeable future. You know, so to be able to connect and see and visit, it's a little easier to do. You know, it's hard to do that when you're in competition. You got 2 games scheduled, you know, to come and visit or walk in the FOC. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? And the same thing for them to come see me. You know, so I'm really excited about that. I think some of our friendships can kind of be rekindled moving forward.
Time for one last question.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.